Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack fascinating stories, give you those aha moments. And today, we are diving into something special, a real contemporary romance phenomenon, the Beautiful Bastard series by Christina Lauren. Now, this isn't just, one or two books, it's a whole world. It's grabbed countless readers, taken them on this emotional roller coaster, passion, ambition, friendship, and yeah, that messy, complicated push and pull of modern love. So our mission for you today, go deeper than just the steamy moments. We want to explore what makes this series feel like a blueprint almost for navigating love when you're ambitious, when life's high stakes.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, a blueprint. Because Christina Lauren, what they do so well here is take that initial spark, that workplace tension, and just explode it into a whole universe of connection. It's like this tapestry, really, woven with relationships between super-driven professionals, best friends, some really unlikely pairs, too. We're going to unpack how humor and vulnerability and ambition, they don't just sit side by side. They tangle up, They define these love stories. And you'll see how intimacy, it's not simple. It's challenging, definitely, but also deeply rewarding.
Okay, and what a start to that universe. I mean, the series kicks off with a bang, doesn't it? That first explosive meeting, Chloe Mills and Bennett Ryan. Tell us about that initial collision.
Oh, it's total fireworks.
Yeah.
Right from the get-go. So Chloe Mills, she walks in, and she's smart, hardworking, fiercely determined, wants to climb that corporate ladder. She's sharp, yeah. Super organized, totally committed to proving herself. In a tough environment, too. You feel that ambition straight away.
And then there's Bennett Ryan, her boss. Just as brilliant, you can tell, but he carries this arrogance. It's somehow infuriating, but also, honestly, kind of compelling. He's confident, commanding, and that bluntness, wow, leaves no room for doubt.
Exactly. So you throw these like powerhouses together professionally, sparks don't just fly. It's more like an inferno.
Yeah.
They're back and forth. It's just a masterclass. Witty remarks, really cutting comments sometimes, but then those little stolen glances, you see something else simmering under all that professional fighting. And what's great is how fast that annoyance, that friction, just morphs into this tension that, well, neither of them really wants to resist,
So what does that initial dynamic, that specific setup really mean for the tone of the whole series? How do they use that workplace thing?
That's such a key question because they use that high-pressure corporate world almost like a crucible for the relationship. It's not just scenery, right? The actual structure of their jobs, the power dynamics, the competition.
Yeah.
It directly fuels their personal clashes. But kind of paradoxically, it also fuels that crazy chemistry. So this first book, it sets the tone perfectly. Love doesn't show up neat and tidy. It crashes into your life, often in really inconvenient places. It blurs those lines, ambition and intimacy, and it forces the characters, and maybe you, the reader too, to grow, to think about what romance can even look like.
And that's just book one. Because the series, it keeps going, right? Christina Lauren, they don't just stick with Chloe and Bennett. The focus broadens out. It feels really natural how the circle of stories expands.
Yes, exactly. You see this whole interconnected world just unfold. The story deliberately brings in more friends, colleagues, partners. Their lives all start weaving together. So a new book might focus on a different couple, yeah, but you never really lose sight of Chloe and Bennett or their friends. You see them pop up. It makes for such a rich reading experience, actually. You get invested in these new romances, but you also see how the characters you already know are doing, how they're growing.
So it's definitely not just standalones thrown together. It builds this proper sense of community. How does that interconnected thing affect the individual love stories, you think?
Well, it's fascinating. Grounds everything. Makes it feel more real. You get characters who are fiercely independent, right? And then suddenly, wham, they're facing love and feeling totally vulnerable. Or you get the best friends wrestling with that terrifying thought. Do we cross that line, risk the friendship for something more? And then, yeah, those couples who look totally wrong for each other on paper. But the chemistry is just magnetic, undeniable. This interconnectedness lets them explore all these different ways relationships can work or struggle, but all within this familiar world, this shared history.
It really makes the world feel lived in, doesn't it? You're rooting for them, you laugh at their teasing, and then you see them show up for each other when things get tough. The friendships really add something, don't they? Oh, absolutely. The friendships are huge. And because you know the group, each individual relationship feels heightened. Whether it's fiery and fast or like a slow burn, some couples deal with distance, others are battling their own fears about commitment. But underpinning every single story is this core message. Love takes guts. It takes courage. It's not just about that first spark. It's about the bravery to keep choosing it, choosing vulnerability day after day. And having friends around makes that feel possible, makes the wins feel bigger.
Okay, so let's really dig in here. Beyond the laughs, the amazing banter, the undeniable heat,
Hmm.
what are the big ideas, the themes that give these books real weight? I'm always struck by how they handle love versus career. That's a perfect place to start. It's totally central. So many characters here are really ambitious. They're in demanding jobs, high-pressure fields, and the series asks this really relevant question, I think. How do you actually let yourself fall in love when your career needs everything from you? Can you be vulnerable and ambitious at the same time? Does one weaken the other? And there's no easy answer given. Instead, you see the cost of that vulnerability. Characters make real sacrifices, which honestly makes the emotional payoff way bigger than just a simple will they, won't they.
That feels so real for today, doesn't it? That balancing act. And speaking of dynamics, the banter, the humor, it's like another character in the books.
It really is. The dialogue isn't just witty because, witty dialogue is fun. It's doing real work for character and intimacy. Christina Lauren's characters, they don't just trade lines. They tease, they provoke, they challenge each other. They're building connection with words just as much as with touch. That sharp, playful tone makes it all feel so alive, so modern. It mirrors how lots of real connections start, right? That playful push-pull, that kind of intellectual spark. And notice the callbacks, the running jokes. That builds rapport with you two, makes the characters feel like real people you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And like we touched on, friendship is just foundational. It's not only about the couple, it's the whole network.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whether you've got a friends to lovers story playing out, which is always compelling, or just the strength of the main friend group, that companionship is an anchor. You see them leaning on each other for advice, for tough love, for just being there. It shows how love, even the really passionate kind, is just better, richer, when you've got a real community around you, those shared histories, the acceptance that often gives them the safety net they need to actually take that scary leap into romance.
That grounding makes the love stories feel so much more solid, more relatable. But okay, under all the fire and wit, there's always that deep vulnerability of intimacy, isn't there?
Yes. And that's where you get the real emotional heart, I think. Beneath the confidence, the clever lines, there's often that really basic human fear, the fear of being truly seen, of letting that guard. The characters here, they often struggle with that. Afraid of rejection, maybe afraid they're not enough, or just scared of how messy deep connection can be. And those moments, when a character finally lets the mask slip, those are the moments that hit you, that make the series resonate. They strip away the front and show you the real, flawed person underneath. And seeing their journey to connect feels really powerful for you.
And then there's the big one, maybe underpinning all of it, that journey from just lust, that initial spark, to actual love. It's not automatic, is it?
Not at all. It's definitely not shown as inevitable. Yeah, the initial attraction is usually intense, physical, undeniable, sets the stage. But the real story, the core of it, is in that transformation, which is often hard, sometimes messy, going from just desire to deep, lasting emotional connection. Each couple, they have to learn trust, they have to learn compromise, and crucially, they have to learn to see past the surface. The authors are great at showing the doubts, the mistakes, the sheer effort involved in choosing connection over just heat. It shows that real love isn't just found, it's kind of built, earned.
Okay, so with all these complex feelings and dynamics swirling around, how do the places, the settings play into it all? We see corporate boardrooms, for instance, that tension cooker you mentioned.
Right. And it's cool how the settings aren't just like wallpaper. Each place seems to reflect or even amplify what the characters are going through. Those boardrooms, the slick offices, they're not just about work. They become these stages for power dynamics, for intellectual sparring, for those first charged moments that light the fuse. The formality of the place itself creates this great tension against the messy, informal feelings bubbling up.
And then you've got the cities, buzzing, urban landscapes, full of energy, nightlife, possibilities.
Exactly. A busy city mirrors that chaos, that excitement of a new romance maybe. Endless chances for meetings, fun dates, but also, the constant need to juggle schedules, deal with distractions.
And then the escapes, the exotic trips, getting away from the routine. Everyone loves a good fictional getaway, right?
Oh, yeah. And that's often where you see the walls come down. Take characters out of their normal lives, and they kind of have to face their feelings without the usual buffers. A quiet, secluded spot. That often brings reflection, vulnerability. It lets those deeper emotional moments happen, speeds up the intimacy sometimes.
And finally, the really personal spots, apartments, hotel rooms, those quiet dinners, where the masks really drop and the real vulnerable talks happen.
Those are the spaces where the genuine connection gets cemented. They're like sanctuaries, places they can just be. No performance needed. It's in those quiet moments. Trust gets built. Secrets get shared. The real foundation gets laid. So yeah, each setting is almost like another character, pushing and pulling the relationship along.
And what really lifts the Beautiful Bastard series, I think, beyond just being a collection of romances, is how you see the characters genuinely grow across the books. It's not static. You look at Chloe and Bennett, right? They start as adversaries, basically. And you watch them evolve into real partners, learning to balance that fierce independence with actually sharing a life.
Yeah, and zooming out from just them, if you follow the interconnected stories, you don't just get the fun buzz of new romance. You get the sometimes harder work of keeping it going. Friends figure out that long-term love needs honesty, patience, sometimes a lot of forgiveness. The series doesn't shy away from that. Marriage, commitment, family stuff, it all becomes part of the story. It suggests that, yeah, passion can ignite fast, but real lasting love, that takes conscious, ongoing effort. It's actually a pretty realistic take on relationships over time, that happily ever after isn't the end. It's just the start of something else.
It really is. So, wrap this up for us, maybe. Why do you think this series hit such a nerve, became such a big thing in contemporary romance? It can't just be the steam, right? So, yeah, there's plenty of that.
No, it's definitely more. I think it's that blend, the very modern humor, the challenges feel real, and then that core of heartfelt vulnerability. Christina Lauren creates characters that honestly feel like people you could know. Ambitious, yeah, flawed, definitely funny, human. But maybe even more than that, I think you connect with how love shows up in these books, uninvited, messing up all the careful plans, forcing people to ask, okay, what really matters here?
Hmm.
Ultimately, the series kind of celebrates that strong love stories aren't about being perfect. They're about
Wow.
embracing the imperfections, yours and theirs, and figuring it out together, which is, I think, a pretty powerful and frankly reassuring idea these days.
Couldn't agree more. And just like that, our deep dive into the Beautiful Bastard series wraps up. Wow. From Chloe and Bennett's fiery start to all the tender, funny, deeply human stories of their friends. This series really reminds us, doesn't it? Love is unpredictable, it's challenging, but it's so rewarding. Christina Lauren gave readers this amazing set of connected stories: laughter, heat, real heart, all playing out against careers, friendships, just life.
Yeah, and thinking bigger picture, it's not just fun stories. It's really a celebration of all the different shapes love can take. And maybe, just maybe, a powerful reminder that being vulnerable, that's often the bravest thing you can do when you're building something real with someone.
So, what does all this mean for you? As you navigate your own story, your ambitions, your connections, maybe it's just that little bit of reassurance that love today, yeah, it's messy, it's complicated, but it is absolutely worth going for, worth fighting for, worth embracing, beautiful imperfections and all. Until next time, may your own story be full of passion, laughter, and that courage to love deeply. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.